What's up guys, Jared back. So yeah, maybe some of you guys have seen me tweeting out or posting on Google asking you to submit some questions regarding an application review that I'm going to be doing today, and I've taken one of you guys' questions, so hopefully you'll be able to recognize your question when you see it. That said, I wanted to show you an app called Wysdom. Now this is brand new to the Play Store, I believe within the past week or so, and it's still in beta, and it's already, first of all, it's for Android development, for iOS down the road, whatever. But anyways, the application is for both Android power users, as in you Android modders out there, as well as the casual Android user that doesn't get into rooting and modding and maybe is brand new to Android or brand new to smartphones in general. This application is a tech support app, all in one, on your phone, for any phone. It's not meant for your computer or for your Blu-ray device. It's meant for your phone. So let's go ahead and show you what it's all about. Alrighty, so here is Wysdom. You'll notice right off the bat that, again, my hat off to the developer for making such a simplistic and cleanly laid out user interface. Very simplistic, and this will be very appealing to casual or very novice smartphone users. But you'll notice we've got Ask Us a Question, My Questions, which is where basically all of your questions that you've asked, as well as the answers to those questions, live, and My Device Tips. Now, this application picks up on your device, your system, as well as your hardware information. So these people can know everything about your device, but don't worry, to all of you tinfoil hatter subscribers out there, because I know some of you are out there, they don't take any of your actual personal information. It's just your system and your hardware information, so they know what phone they're dealing with, and they know what version of Android to have, are you rooted, and so on and so forth, to better help you, again, with even root questions. Yes, root questions that aren't even supported by OEMs, okay? Now let's go ahead and show you what this is all about. So My Device Tips, you'll notice, say for instance I give my Nexus 5 to my father-in-law. By the way, I apologize for all the fingerprints on the screen. That's just the way life goes sometimes, isn't it? He probably isn't aware of all these awesome little tips and things like that I already know, but things to help him save battery life, etc., etc. And then of course there's tutorials. So this is fantastic for, again, the beginning or novice smartphone user, or just maybe not that tech savvy, right? So then we can go ahead and back it out there. That's just kind of a neat little addition in there. But let's go ahead and jump into My Questions. Actually, you know what? Let's backtrack and jump into Ask Us a Question. So this is where, if you had a question, for instance, what's the fastboot command to flash a custom recovery, or I can't install this application because it says I don't have enough space, but I know that I do have enough space. There's no stupid question here. Ask away, they'll answer. There's no too much of a complicated question. Ask away, they'll answer. Okay, so let's go back here and let's jump into the questions themselves. Now, I started off by saying, what is the resolution display of my phone? That was submitted at 1050, and you'll notice at 1052, they submitted an answer, which was 1080 by 1776. By the way, big shout out to Ness from Wysdom for helping me understand the power of this application and what you guys can do with it over there. So from that point on, I decided to start spicing things up a little bit. So I went into, I noticed they had a section here called pin. And so I said, what's this pin all about, right? Then I kind of poked at them a little bit for taking about 7 minutes to get back to me, but then they explained that it's because it's a beta application and they wanted to make sure they had the right information. That said, they did get back to me with an answer, and as you can see here, it says it's there for rare occasions. Let's say that a friend of mine is having difficulties. I tell him, hey Jim, enter this pin code and I will have a better view of your phone settings and the state so I can help you better. That's pretty cool. Now, we start going on and they start explaining to me that, they can even see this, as you can see here, we can do a lot more than simply have dialogue. We can send commands or tutorials to the user. For instance, if you inquired on an app that can support MKV or AVI playback, I would send you this. As you can see here, we've got a tutorial. It gives us a bit of a description. It gives us some different application recommendations that support the MKV or whatever video format you're looking for, as well as the recommended application that takes you directly to the Play Store with the application in front of you. You can download it. That is simple. That's easy. It doesn't get any easier than that, and I think that's pretty cool. But they didn't really impress me or knock my socks off just yet until they did this. So I went back there and I was like, that's cool, that's cool. So let me just go ahead and find it first, for God's sakes. Okay, there it is. So then I also said, commands, can you elaborate on that a little bit more? Because I'm like, commands? What do you mean commands? So then they said, they sent me this. Would you like to make the following change? Screen brightness to 100. Now, I'm going to show you something here. If we pull this down, jump into my screen brightness, you'll notice that my screen brightness is not currently set to 100%. However, if I click on the change request, and again, they can send you these change requests, but they don't happen until you grant a permission by clicking on this continue button here. So if I click continue, bam, my screen brightness instantly changes. Pull this down just for proof, and there it is, 100% screen brightness, which I'm actually going to put back down so you guys can see my display. So that is pretty awesome. So, and there we go, screen brightness changes. So I was like, okay, that's really, really cool. So, and you may notice that we've got a bit of a dialogue going there because we were getting into this. So then I was like, oh, that's pretty neat. So she explained to me that, you know, I can also tell that your device is rooted, which can help me in adjusting my level of dialogue with the user. For instance, I could cater my vocabulary to your level of skill by commenting on areas such as bootloader, recovery, and baseband. Bootloader, recovery, and baseband are words that power users use, okay? That's impressive, which means I'm not afraid to ask her a root related question. So then and then she sent me another change request that was, you know, to wipe the cache of one of the applications in my device. That's pretty cool. So if, say for instance, you know, you're sick and tired of your dad contacting you being like, you know, why doesn't this allow me to do this or that or whatever? I can't figure out how to do this or that, or how to set a, you know, my PIN code for my lock screen or something like that. These folks can send these changes to the device for you to make things just that much simpler. Now, I went ahead and used one of the user submitted questions or viewer submitted questions, which was searching for a TV show using Google Now allows you to set reminders for new episodes in the US. What about in other countries? And they said, unfortunately, this feature is only supported in the United States. It does not work in Canada, for instance. Now, I would imagine the same for, you know, other countries that Google Now doesn't support, which is pretty much a lot of countries out there other than the US, you know, Brazil and different parts of the UK and so on and so forth. So, okay, fair enough. It doesn't work for pretty much anything other than the US. And then she went on to elaborate a little bit more, saying, you know, you can manually set a reminder of the TV show, yada, yada, yada. But then she went one step further and said, on a side note, many users have complained about the OK Google voice command not working on their Nexus 5 devices. If you are also experiencing this issue, I could send you a fix for that too. That's right, they could automatically, and I would imagine it's because they're going to set my device language to US English, which is actually the trick, just in case you guys didn't know, in order to get OK Google to work on Nexus 5 devices outside of the US. You know, so basically what we've got here, guys, is an application that allows us root users, if we have any questions, to ask questions and not feel stupid doing so and get flipped out at by the folks over at XDA Developers. And for those casual users out there that are too afraid to ask simple questions to maybe friends and family who are technically inclined, because you don't want to get that, you didn't know how to do that? So anyways, I think it's an awesome application. It's an open beta right now. It's free to try. When it does come out of beta, I did ask them about any pricing options. They weren't able to comment on exact pricing options. However, they said that they do plan on making it extremely affordable for everybody. So that's good news. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Anyways, this review has taken far too long, but it definitely deserved the long review. Hopefully you liked the video. I'm going to be posting the link in the description below to go and download this application right away. I recommend you guys give it a try. Test their skills, test their knowledge, if you will. But that's it. Hopefully you liked the video. If you did, click that likes button down below. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe for more videos in the future. But that is it for this one. Thanks as always for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.